They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick.
They Live is an alien invasion horror movie. It's not like strictly horror, unless you consider this face horrifying.
He's a tall, Caucasian male, doesn't appear armed, wearing sunglasses.
Or the idea of all of our leadership either being run by aliens or accepted being led by aliens, all for selfish gain to basically just run everything.
Resistance is futile.
Then yeah, They Live could be considered a horror movie. Let's get spooky. The movie starts off with our main guy George, and he is crossing the country looking for work. He stumbles upon a construction job and offers up his services, and wow, look at this beefcake! Sorry, got distracted. Frank, who is just your average, super friendly guy, offers George a place to stay, basically a lot for the homeless, and we get to know a bit more about the two. George is a classic, if I work hard, things will work out type of guy. Frank is a mind your business and I'll mind mine kind of guy. George notices that the local TVs are getting hacked with a warning message saying they are safe as long as they are not discovered. Basically just conspiracy nonsense. But at the church nearby, George notices some peculiar things happening, so he goes to investigate, and the church turns out to be a front, but he doesn't know for what. Frank doesn't want anything to do with it. A few days later, the police raid the church and destroy the homeless lot. Sad day. George even sees the cops beat up Gilbert, who is in charge of the lot, and the blind pastor. George is able to find cover till it all blows over. He heads over to the church the next day and grabs a hidden box with a pair of odd sunglasses in them. He puts them on and the world turns black and white. It freaks him out a little bit, but he puts them back on again, looking at all the ads around town are being replaced with big concerning words like consume, submit, stay asleep. Even the money says, "This is your God." And not really the case for me. George starts walking around and notices some people looking like gross-ass aliens, and with a pro wrestling nickname like Rowdy Roddy Piper, you can expect how subtle he would handle it all.
You're okay. This one, real fucking ugly.
The aliens around him notice that he can really see them, so they call it in and he bolts out of the place. Some police chase him down an alley. Normally a regular guy would feel kind of helpless being cornered by cops, but these are aliens, so he just kills them and takes their guns. He immediately goes to a bank and we get one of the most famous lines in horror history.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
And he starts blowing away aliens. I just love how quick he is to being gun-ho about all of this. The first hour he figures out aliens live among us, he's all like, he gets to a parking garage and jacks a woman's car with her in it, and he has her take him to her place. But the second she gets the chance, she yeets him out the window.
TV sets.
Damn, when I first saw this, I thought that would kill 99% of people, but George the American hero just walks that shit off. He tries talking to Frank, but Frank wants nothing to do with him because the killings he did made the news. George tries to get a hold of his stash of glasses, and Frank somehow finds him and throws him a week's worth of pay. Honestly, nicest guy in the fucking world here. George begs Frank to put on the sunglasses, but he refuses, which leads to the most elaborate fight scene in film history. It's honestly worth seeing the movie just to watch this long-ass fight. There are even laughing moments in the middle of the fight. And I didn't know this, but apparently South Park did this fight, and I had no idea if it was a reference to this movie. Okay, so George wins, and he forces the glasses onto Frank, and Frank sees all, and he just accepts it all. They lay low for a bit till Gilbert, the guy from the homeless shelter, tracks them down and tells them to meet at the Rebellion headquarters, and coincidentally, the woman Holly who knocked George out the window is there. That's odd. They figure that the signal to hide the aliens is coming from a local TV station, and Holly works there, but she's like, nah, it's not there. And the police raid the place and kill everyone. These homeless people didn't have a chance. The kill ratio from homeless to cops is like 40-4, and only George got the 4 kills. George and Frank are only able to get out of there because they got on one of the watches that the aliens use to teleport everywhere to work, and they jump into a hole or portal and find the secret underground where all the higher-ups and aliens meet. They make their way to the same TV station that was brought up before, pretty luckily, and get some reassurance that the signal is coming from there. They run into Holly, and the second George has some space from Holly and Frank, she shoots Frank in the back of the head. Not a shocker, she seemed in on it from the beginning. It's just sad that Frank got Billy jacked so easily. George is about to get to the satellite, but Holly and the helicopter have the drop on him, and he pulls out a gun out of his sleeve, and they all fire, they all die, and the satellite blows up, and the world is woken up to the alien race among them. There is a weird random scene at the end where a chick is banging a guy and he turns into an alien. We see tits there, and I don't know why. It is the most tacked on and unnecessary nude scene I can think of. Honestly, I feel like the people who made this were like, wait, we're making an 80s horror movie and there's no nudity here? Gotta throw something in. This movie was fun. George is a great main character, and Frank is a great side character. George's optimism in the American dream at the beginning makes you feel good, and Frank constantly being the instant best friend also makes you feel good. And blowing up aliens?
I may be bad, but I feel good.
There are a lot of plot conveniences here. I can accept and admit that, but still, it's a great film. Tomorrow we're watching Nellavillichum? What?